to a real rogue insider and actually launches missiles. Now, why? The centerpiece of the day is the U.S. ultimatum to Russia. It's the Bush-Putin phone call, where Bush says, we're seizing Afghanistan, we're seizing Soviet Central Asia. Now, suppose Putin says, you do it and I'll blow your head off. Right? The Soviets had fought a long war to keep that neutral. So it is essential that all of this be backed up, not just by the threat of seeing these things mobilized, which Putin can see, but also by the ability to actually launch without having Bush involved in any way. So they've built in the ability to launch. Amalgam Warrior is another one going on. That's an air defense exercise. In other words, if the U.S. launches something, maybe the Russians will respond. This is the defense against that. It's all built in, and it all makes this horrendous package. We've also got AWACS planes. General Arnold, on his own initiative, sends an AWACS to Florida and an AWACS to Washington. Looks like a place where they would be, well, for Florida is where Bush is, Washington, the government. And these are command centers of that type. So this is a coup. It's a military coup, if you like, a coup of the rogue network. And the goal is to seize control, in effect, of the head of state. And in the meantime, we're now on a permanent war mobilization with the Khan plan. We've got global strike implemented all around us. And we're under the Cheney Doctrine. The Cheney Doctrine simply says that the Pentagon has to be ready for the nuclear bombing of Iran soon, under the cover of a fake new 9/11, or perhaps new Gulf of Tonkin. Cheney is not doing rain dances getting ready for this. He's making it happen. A large-scale assault on Iran involving both conventional and tactical nuclear weapons. Bush was asked on April 18th, are you getting ready for a nuclear attack on Iran? All options are on the table. It may be a hopeful sign that his helicopter wouldn't take off 2 days after that. This, of course, would be a tremendous regional conflagration. I don't have time to go into the details. The oil aorta of the world, the Strait of Hormuz, is likely to be interdicted. And now we have just 2 or 3 days ago in the Washington Post, two Clinton administration people, Perry and Ashton, Carter from the Pentagon, saying it's time now to have a preemptive attack on North Korea because they have this missile. Their missile may be a peaceful satellite, but they say bomb it while it's on the launching pad. These are pads to World War III. And the scariest one of all, and the one that I'm going to leave you with, is this one from Foreign Affairs, the Lieber and Press article. And I quote, "It will probably soon be possible for the United States to destroy the long-range nuclear arsenals of Russia or China with a first strike." These are the neocon fascist madmen. That's them. Dr. Strangelove is back. There he is. That's your government. And that's where some of these characters are going to be. This is now the issue, and this is not, I'm not exaggerating in any way, I sincerely believe this. This is the problem we now face. Of course, if you really want to follow this out, of course, if you're going to have a first strike, remember the other guy may have a doomsday machine, as he did in the movie, and it turned out that Russia did have a doomsday machine, meaning that they most likely still do. So the problem now is you may wake up in the midst of the day after. After the Iraq cakewalk, we're being offered the thermonuclear cakewalk. Now, you can stop drills. We've done it. Monitor drills. Identify drills and shut them down. What I would do is just leap ahead here a bit. I have to jump over. Oh, all my wonderful stuff. Hey. I'm sorry. I've been told. Let me just, I've been given a deadline. Maybe I can come back at some later point. But I just want to conclude. I'm so. Huh? I don't know. What should I do? Who's in charge here? All right, look. In Chicago, what came out of the Chicago conference is very specific. There are 6 action points that came out of that conference. and they were approved by acclamation in a gathering not quite so large as this, but quite considerable nevertheless. And I just want to, if you're interested in stopping World War III, this is an action program. People wanted to know what to do. The first is impeach Bush Cheney, but the only hope for doing this is the first article of impeachment, 9/11 crimes, including the misprision of treason. You're a government official, you know something's going to happen, you know it is happening, you don't stop it, that's misprision of treason, and there's a prima facie case for that, right? Bin Laden determined to strike in U.S. What did you do? Nothing. Meetings, orders, mobilizations, alerts? No, nothing. Nothing. Misprision of treason. And you take it from there, right? Then it goes up from there. Take back the airwaves. The goal is to bombard Air America, C-SPAN, any and all radio talk shows, right? Al Franken, that other guy, Ed Schultz in the afternoon. That lout. Yeah, that lout. We want to bombard them all. Look, there's easily 1,200 people here. You make one phone call a week of this group. You can think of the effect of this, right? It essentially means that they would all be submerged in a tidal wave, a tsunami of phone calls. This is what we need. There's no point in going out and handcuffing yourself to the gates of the White House when you can reach 2 or 3 million people directly. Challenge these officials. You'll be seen by billions of people before the day is over. So use the means that we have. Support the 9/11 truth candidates. I'm sure my list is very, very inadequate. I don't even have Craig Hill. But Carol Brule, Bob Bowman, Craig Hill. There's a guy here from Oklahoma I wouldn't want to forget. There are many that I don't know about. I hope one of the things here would be to do it. Stand up. And we also have Morgan Stack of Cork, Ireland, running for the Dial, the Irish Parliament from Cork South. Monitor, expose, and shut down terror drills. You find out on your website or whatever it is that something's going to happen in your community, you shut it down, you protest. We need deep throats, we need whistleblowers, we need Watergate tapes. They should come forward. If there's somebody in the uniformed forces who doesn't want to go into the Iran meat grinder, now's the time. An independent international truth commission building on the work of the Los Angeles Citizens Grand Jury, which met here in October '04 and in August of last year. And if they call off elections, widen the war, and try to have martial law, the answer is a general strike. Before you talk about picking up the gun, try politics. Try a general strike. There was one in San Francisco in the 1930s. There was one in Minneapolis. There's been one in Spain. After the Madrid bombing, Aznar tried to make himself dictator. He was swept aside by a general strike of 1/3 to 1/2 of the entire Spanish people. If it can be done in Spain or Italy or France, why not here? So start spreading that idea now. And with that, we want to have, of course, since it's Hollywood, we have to think about celebrities. 2, 3, many from the film colony, and I commend my book to you, and I thank you. I'm told we have 15 minutes. Now, I leave it up to you. You want to see those slides I jumped over? The scenario is Samuel Huntington's Clash of Civilizations. This is the plan for the Middle East under Samuel Huntington. Iraq divided into 3 parts, Iran divided into 6 or 7 parts. They're using terrorism, they're using the MEK, Mujahideen-e-Khalq. They're using PKK, Kurdish terrorists. They're using the BP Liberation Front of this part of the country to separate the parts of Iran. Now, I want to call this very much to your attention. He has also written, after he finished that, he wrote another one called Who Are We?, which is an attempt to formulate an ethnic or völkische identity for the United States. and it has a lot to do with current events. His thesis is